Coach, first things first, Najee with that shoulder. Any update on him medically?
No, I have no injury updates for you on anybody.
Got it. And thoughts on Didi, his first action as a Pelican and his first sample size?
I really liked what he did defensively. I thought he looked really good defensively. Got into the ball on Doncic, who's a great player, got over screens, fought hard, has a really solid base, moves his feet well, strong, tough, competes. I thought it was a real positive first NBA game. Listen, you couldn't be in a much tougher situation. Like, you're going to play your first game. You've practiced one time, and it was a half-ass practice, and you've gone through some walkthroughs in a hotel, and then we send you out there and say, guard Luka Doncic. So it couldn't have been a much harder debut, and I thought he did a really good job. Right now, offense is hard for him, mainly because, again, he hasn't been able to play at all with us. We haven't done anything. But I thought defensively he competed really, really hard.
Yeah, Coach, in the second quarter, you hung for the first quarter, and then their length, and we talked about it before the game, their length really started to become an issue, and they were able to get some offensive rebounds, but it was just tough to deal with their size, especially how short-handed you were.
Well, no, they just really played well, too. I mean, give them a lot of credit. They outscored us 79-50 in those middle two quarters. I mean, they crushed us. Luka was unbelievable. When he's shooting the ball like that, I mean, he's a 35% three-point shooter. When he's shooting the ball like that, they get really, really hard to guard. So, and then Hardaway had a big night too. Porzingis scored well. I mean, they had a really good night, and we didn't. So, that's why you get the score you got. But I will say our guys continued to compete. I mean, that's the one thing with this group. I mean, you're down 30 after 3, and I've seen a lot of teams this year just sort of let it go, and those games become 40, 45. Our guys kept fighting. I give them credit for that. So, that was the positive of the night, I think, was there.
Yeah, you mentioned it with Didi, but he's not going to get a whole lot of time here at the end of the season. But how valuable was it to have those minutes going up against a guy like Luka Doncic, where he can kind of see the whole package there?
Well, I think all experience is valuable, right? I think all experience is valuable, Will, but also it's valuable for us, right, to see him play. So it's one thing to scout people and to see him play in international competition and to see him play in Australia and see him play in Summer League, and there's stuff you like. But to be able to have 3 games here at the end of the year where you see him play against NBA players in NBA games gives you a much more realistic view of his strengths and weaknesses, things he needs to work on, where he might fit in. It's not as big a sample size as you would like, but it's certainly better than nothing.
Stan, what did you feel like you guys could have done better defensively in the second quarter?
Listen, I mean, the thing I didn't like, I thought we had trouble. We had trouble on the pick and roll game, and Luka was shooting the ball, and then we tried to trap him some in the pick and roll, and they picked that apart, and we tried to switch some, and he picked that apart. We couldn't find a pick and roll defense that worked, and that's hard against him. He's a really good player. But I thought the second chance opportunities we gave him in that quarter was something that we could take away. We had some second chance stuff and some loose balls where I didn't think, or I thought we should have come up with the ball, and we didn't. And when a team is playing well like they were and shooting the ball like that, you can't afford to give them second chances. And on one possession, we gave them 3 chances. You can't do that in those situations. And I realize we're out some good rebounders too, but I thought we could have done a better job there.
Hey Stan, with the loss, you guys are officially eliminated from the play-in. In the big picture, how would you categorize the season? Is this a disappointment, or is there enough things that you can take from it, considering the shortened off season, the growth of some players, that you see a lot that you can build on going
Yeah,
forward?
I mean, it's both. Like, I really don't get into the evaluation of seasons. The evaluation of the season is we're 31 and 39. We didn't make it into the play-in. That's the facts. And then there's a lot of, things good and bad you can talk about, and maybe we'll get into that at the end of the year. But it's both. It's not either or. I mean, it's disappointing to be done and not playing. It's disappointing to end the year like this when, we thought we had a shot, and then we're going out there with, 5 of our top 6 guys in minutes played not playing, things like that. That's disappointing. But there's some good things too. So I don't know. Again, I'll leave it to you guys to characterize the season. But I think from the franchise's point of view and the fans' point of view, there should be some things that you're really excited about. I really believe that, with the young guys that we have, who have showed some good things. Every one of them took a jump. If you look at, Zion, Brandon, Jackson, I mean, go down, all the guys that came back from last year had better years this year than they had a year ago. So there was growth there. So, and I've said this several times, and I'm not doing it to like fall on a sword. If people have complaints with me, but the way this group has fought and the way they've grown individually as players throughout the year, if you're a fan of the Pelicans, you should be pretty excited about the future, I think. I mean, there's a good core of guys here, and Griff and Trajan are high-quality guys who will fill some of the holes that need to be filled. So it's positive, but there's certainly, from my standpoint, it's very disappointing to not be playing.
Yeah, speaking of some of the young guys, Kyra had a couple good flashes tonight as well. What do you just want to see from him in these last 2 games, assuming he'll probably get some extended minutes here?
Yeah, listen, I think that the areas for Kyra on the court stuff. I mean, obviously he's got to get stronger, but the on the court stuff that I think where he's got to improve is his decision making and shot making in the paint when he gets downhill. His 2-point percentage he's had trouble on those shots, particularly from the restricted area out to the arc. And his decision making in those areas has got to get better because he's certainly shown that he can get downhill. And then he's a work in progress defensively as well. And for him, I think he's got quickness. He plays hard. He's got all of those things. It's gaining the experience and the reads on, when to go over picks, when to go under, being more active and things like that. So he's got a long way to go, but I think the fact that he's been able to play every game here, I mean, certainly the second half of the year and get in there and see some things is certainly going to help him.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyra. I know it's not necessarily the result maybe you guys wanted with the season overall, but where do you kind of go? What is kind of your mindset going into these last 2 games here?
Just keep playing, just keep competing, try to get better, just keep getting reps at the game of basketball. And that's all you really can do. Just go out there and compete and try to win these last 2 games. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and Stan mentioned one of the important things for you moving forward is decision making and shot making coming off of those pick and rolls. Just what have you been doing lately just to work on that part of your game?
Just watch film, just try to get extra reps when I can, working out in the game, try to read the decisions that I can make, and just try to get better every day.
Just big picture, what has it been like for you, being a rookie and trying to find your way in the NBA in this really weird season?
It's been a good year. It went by fast. I feel like just yesterday I came in training camp. But I learned a lot. Like you said, it's been a different type of year with COVID and all the things that's going on. But it's been fun. So I've had fun. Just keep battling for these last 2 games. Just try to get better for next year.
Kyra, people always talk about how big of an adjustment it is for rookie guards when they come into the NBA, especially point guards with all of the talent at the position and how much you have to learn. What do you think is there an area or group of areas where you think you've made the most progress when you think back to where you were in November to now that we're almost through the whole season?
Just learning terminology, getting the right positions, setting myself up for opportunities to create for my teammates or create for myself. Really just learning everything I can learn on the defensive end, trying to navigate over screens, or if I want to get under on my man, try to do it the best I can. And, that's pretty much been the main thing that I learned so far, and I think I'm getting better at.
All right, thanks, Kyra. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, what's up, Didi? Just what was it like to make your NBA debut?
First game, I was excited to do my first game. Like, I have been playing Australia the past 2 years, and yeah, first debut, like I got some minutes to do my job, play on defense, try to help on offense, but that's my game.
And what was it like first time out just kind of getting thrown in the fire from a guy like Luka Doncic?
Yeah, it was a little bit tough, but I always have been working on my defense since I left Brazil. So I have done a great job in Australia with my defense. So just came in the game, got one of the best players in the league. I'm happy.
Didi, I know you haven't had much time with your new teammates, but have you made any friends? Has anybody helped make your transition particularly easy?
Yeah, they helped me a lot since I got in New Orleans, and I already made before Jax, Nikhil, Zion, but Nikhil and Jax have been helping me a lot, and James Johnson as well. Everyone went kind of with me.
Hey, Didi, it's Andrew from ESPN. What do you think the thing you learned in Australia the most? What was the thing that you learned about your game the most when you were in Australia?
I think the thing I learned the most is always play hard. No matter what, no matter if your first game or last game, doesn't matter. Just get in, play hard, and do your job.
Hey, Didi, Christian Clark, 2 things from me. Just how helpful do you think going to Australia as a stepping stone to coming to the NBA was for you?
It's helped a lot. Everyone knows when I got drafted in 2019, and I played summer league my first time and didn't know English, so I have gone through some things in the summer league, and going to Australia helped my game. I improved my English, and yeah, I still improve my game, but Australia has helped me a lot.
And just real quickly about this night specifically, how good did it feel that moment of you're in an NBA game almost 2 years after you get drafted that it was finally here?
Yeah, I felt good. I was excited, like I said before, to do my first game, and my dream come true. So just work hard and play, and let's see what's happened.
Didi, you mentioned that you obviously knew Jackson, Nikhil, and Zion from Summer League a couple of years ago. When a player joins a team in the middle of the season, a lot of times it's tough because you're getting thrown into everything, and like you said, you only had one practice, but how much did it help you that at least you knew a few of the guys? And I'm assuming this is a pretty similar situation to Summer League where you don't have a lot of preparation. You have to just get on the court and play.
Yeah, I was ready. The first time I got in New Orleans, I started look some plays and study a lot how the team play, how the system of Stan Van Gundy won. And so I studied a lot with Ryan, the coach from the league as well. So yeah, I'm happy, and that's it.
Appreciate your time, Didi. Thanks.
Thank you.